Hey, good evening, Mary. Back with another video. It is June 3rd, 7:36 p.m. And yesterday, or I think it was yesterday or the day before, okay, I had made a video and I was like really excited about posting it. I made it on PowerPoint, and I inadvertently ended up deleting it, so I didn't get to finish it. And I was like, oh, it was late, and I was really tired anyway. But it's those stupid things that you do when you're tired, and I really resent that. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and make a video because it's Friday night, and I always associate in my mind Fridays with being social, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, as a targeted individual, slim pickings, right? So anyway, and I really don't get into imaginary friends. That was something I did in my childhood, but I don't have imaginary friends. So it gets a little boring, so I decided to come on here and make a video. And so, hello. But I do sometimes think, while I'm sitting here in my room, kind of unwinding, and I was kind of fiddling around with some stuff in my closet and for a little bit, and I was thinking, gosh, I wish I did have someone that shared my interest, someone that I really clicked with. It would be really nice. And no, stop talking about the marriage thing. I'm talking about females, okay? I want to hang out with, like, I don't know. Here's my thing, okay? I know people are like, Maria, you're 51 years old. Aren't you thinking? I don't want to fucking get married. Okay. And I know people are traditional, and I know they value their traditions, and it's been so normalized and accepted into the minds of so many people that they think that everybody wants that. Or that's just like that's just a natural cycle of things that people, do. It's not, and I don't see it that way, I like my life. And this is what I think frustrates a lot of people like myself, because, it's very difficult to defend that, because people like to kind of chide you and say things like, you're just saying that because you're hurt, or they'll always try to undermine what you're telling them, because they either, number one, can't accept, because they themselves want to be married so badly that they can't accept somebody who's not married, or understand how somebody could be in that situation, right, and not want to. Or they would think maybe they're the kind of person that would get really, really lonely, and they couldn't imagine, it's being hours and hours and hours. Okay, I think I kind of understand where they're coming from, but I am a very individualistic person who values my independence, values my space, values my freedom. Yes, freedom. That's why I was bitching and moaning about these crazy people trying to force me into their religion for such a long time. I'm a very free-spirited person. Now, some people might look at that as rebellious, because there's a lot of religious people that think man and woman should be married. Like some religious sects encourage their young women to get married, pretty young, after they say the bloom of youth. I think that's what they used to call it, is when after they develop. Go through the puberty stage or whatever, and they want them to get married, and they were really into the marriage multiplying and all this other stuff. And I say, if that's what you want to do, that's fine, but I don't want marriage. I myself do not accept it in my life. I don't want marriage. And that doesn't mean that I'm immature. Now, some people say, well, Maria, look at the stuffed animals on your bed. Okay, here's the thing. In being childlike in certain ways does not mean that you are immature, does not mean that you cannot make good decisions, does not mean that you are not a logical thinking person. Okay, it is a good thing when you can nurture your inner child. Your inner child is what brings you joy. And so many people have decided to distance themselves from the true joys that they had. And I'm standing up because, I sit down all day. So I try to stretch, get my stretches in there while I'm talking and stuff, because it's good for me to kind of move around a little bit. And I seriously suggest people who sit down all day get up and move around a little bit. It's good for them. But no, I do. And I think people think that, oh, Maria's a childish person, blah, blah, blah. Damn right I am. I enjoy my internal youth. And, I do see that And I was this is to me an important thing. I realize how the youthful spirit within a person is so valuable. It is extremely valuable. I went to a trip about a week or so ago. It was a business trip, right? And we got to hear a speaker, and he himself identified himself as somebody who is, I don't know, he didn't use the word inner child, but he used another term for it. And I kept thinking, okay, so this person understands what I'm saying. He understands the value of being, he even talked about his like, or his interest, and still, he still to this day watches cartoons, okay? So, and it's funny because I remember, being ridiculed for me watching cartoons. And what people don't realize about cartoons is that cartoons were not originally made for children. Cartoons were actually made for adults, okay? And most of it was like making fun of political issues at certain times, propaganda type reasons why they put out cartoons, whatever. But my point is that this is how I look at it, okay? And I'm sure he has far more things to say about it since he's written a book on this whole thing. But still, this is from my perspective, is that when we distance ourselves from our original nature, which is our inner child, okay, we become miserable, okay? And you're either in this one category. You're either somebody who is filled with joy and eagerness and wanting to live, vibrancy, okay? Life force is what I think is essential to have a decent life, okay? Or you're one of the people who don't, who's had it washed out of you. And you tend to get very agitated around people who still want to be youthful. You know what I mean? And when I say youthful, there's certain things in the aging process I cannot change. You know what I mean? Like, some people say, well, Maria, give up clothes and stuff. You're 51 years old. No, I will not give up clothes. Okay? I do. Am I one of those women in their 50s who think that, oh, I'm trying to compete with 21-year-old women or whatever? I know I'm fucking old. I'm looking at the gray hair in my head all the time. Like, there was a time where I had to kind of pick my hair pieces through to see the gray. I don't have to pick very much to see it now. You know what I mean? So I'm far aware that I'm an older woman, okay? I do have my face is a little more youthful than a lot of women my age. Black women don't age as fast as, our other racial counterparts, okay? But, and I'm not somebody who, and some people will say, well, I can't believe you're trying to hang on to your youth or whatever. There's nothing to be shameful about hanging on to your youth. Youth, the idea of youth is so important and so powerful that is even written into religion. Now, I want you to really think about the whole Jehovah's Witness religion, okay? For example, Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe that they're going to heaven, okay? They believe certain people are going to heaven. Only 144,000 people are going to heaven, okay? But it's a very long story, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But what they believe for an afterlife is inhabiting the earth, being back here on earth, but in a perfect state. And get this, their idea of a perfect state is getting maybe, okay, you're born, right? And you get to maybe like the age of 30, and then you continue your life at that point. No older than that, okay? And you live forever. Because Jehovah's Witnesses believe, based on things in the scripture, okay, that, when we were here in the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve sinned, okay, that they lost what we were originally supposed to have, which is eternal life, eternal youth, okay? So nobody wants to get old, okay? Nobody does, okay? Nobody wants to get old. Nobody wants to die. No one wants to see the end of themselves, okay? No one in their right mind, thinking mind, wants to see that. So obviously, I will tell you, the root of this is that is a very ideal and pleasurable thing to think of. Just getting to a certain point where you're like at your peak. You know what I mean? This great stage of life. No older than that part. So you're not starting seeing the part where you start getting wrinkles and men start losing their hair. Women start getting wrinkles on their face. They get to a certain point and they stay that way forever. Okay? I've also noticed, like, there's certain Catholic priests will say certain things, like, when they bless people and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll say this. They'll say, may eternal youth be yours forever. Now, why would somebody want to, that's a blessing, right? To be young forever. This is what we want in life. In order for us to find the point of anything, we have to have a sense of discovery. Otherwise, life becomes stagnant and pointless. Okay? And to me, in my mind, okay, being a couple is going to make me stagnant. I will not find the joy in life married. You know why? Because I'm 51 years old and I can get up and I could, I don't know, if I wanted to, I can wear whatever I want to wear. I can do what I want to do. You know what I mean? I have freedom. I can think. I can't think with somebody else around me all the time, or trying to, mush out certain parts of me. It's very hard. You know what I mean? The way it would be to force that sort of me into that sort of lifestyle, when the majority of most people my age, in my age group, don't think like me. You know what I mean? What I wish I had is friends. I wish I had like people who were like myself, open-minded people. You know what I mean? People who want to do things with their open mind. People don't feel limited in certain boxes. That's what I don't want. I want better things in life. You know what I mean? And for some people, life is good being partnered. You know what I mean? To them, they like the idea of having children, lots of children. You know what I mean? And then having grandchildren and all that other stuff. And then they're into their family. I have no fucking concept of family. None. And you can't really expect me to either. My family was dysfunctional. They didn't give a flying fuck about me. So all I've ever known is a bunch of fake, phony people, and then pretending that they care about me, and they don't. They gossip about me. They don't really like who I am, right? So I don't have this idea of, I want to have this warm, bunch of kids and stuff like. I had a child, and I am so grateful that I had my son. I love my son more than anything in this world. I swear to you, I do. He's an awesome kid. I'm very proud that I raised him by myself as a single parent, and I'm not ashamed of it. Okay? And I think that this is who I am. You know what I mean? This is who I am. And I will never feel ashamed of that. I won't. You can't make me feel ashamed of that. So anyway, I was hoping that I could make this Friday video a little bit more interesting, but I failed at that. I just kind of got off on talking about my thoughts on Friday and what I'm doing and thinking, and the kind of people that I would want to draw into my life. People who want to be who they are, not follow a tradition because everyone else follows it, or not adapt beliefs because everyone's adopted them, or that because their fathers done that, well then they're going to do it too, and that's fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is not me pissing or trying to put down somebody's path in life. Okay, I understand some people have traditions, and I've studied books on different people's cultures and stuff like that, and I respect it 100%. People have certain ceremonies and stuff, rituals that they go to and do, and I think that's wonderful. There's a part of me that wishes I had some form of ritualistic type thing going on in my life, like whether that be a formalized prayer that we did each year at a table, or something like that. You know what I mean? Or some sort of like rite passage. What do you call it? Rites of passage or something. That would be cool. But I don't. I didn't come from anything like that. Like, we were just a bunch of neglected kids. Parents got in way over their heads thinking, how people dream about, I'd like to have a kid. And because everyone else has a kid, and kids are cute, and then that's what they think. They think they're cute things, and then they actually have them. They're like, oh man, fuck, I hate these kids. But it's the truth, okay? It's reality. You know what I mean? And so I am a realist. You know what I mean? And I know that I have limitations. There's certain things I cannot put up with it, and marriage is one of them. I can't deal with that shit. I can't deal with somebody telling me how to live my life, what I'm supposed to think, or doing something like, let's do a collaborative type thing. Like, for example, a woman wants to buy a grandfather clock or something kooky like that, right? And so all of a sudden, guess what? She's going to talk to her husband about it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, because some people are meant to work as a couple. Some people really are. Like, there's some people, like twins or whatever, they're so unified. They even think they finish each other's sentences. There are some people who exist this way, and that's fine. Okay, but I can't. Especially since I've been on my own for so long. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I know people must talk about me. I'm sure they do. It's like, but she wears makeup, and I fucking love that shit. That's a part of my life force. So when people try to tell me stop doing shit, I'm gonna be like, fuck that. I don't know why some people who practice certain religions, there are some religions that are obsessed with hating your life on earth. I mean, literally, they will make you feel guilty and make you feel like, their whole, it almost seems like some religions, okay, I'm not saying all, okay, but there are some religions that don't cherish life. I mean, I know that life on earth is hell. It is, okay? I personally believe that totally. But they don't want you to have any pleasure in it. Everything is bad. Like, everything to them is bad, okay? And believe me, for some things, they have scriptural basis for it. But a lot of things that these people were bringing up against me was just like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I think a lot of them were using religion as excuse so they could, like, launch a hate campaign against me. But I don't harm people, okay, and I don't tell people what's right for them, and I don't try to make other people see things my way. Only when I feel like, hey, you know what, just kind of back off me right now, because I don't want to institutionalize my life. You know what I mean? I don't want to make it. What I mean by that is like, okay, they're basing certain things that I have a right to. And basing that on whether people are gonna hire me or not. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm a girly girl. I love being a woman. You know what I mean? And it has nothing to do with that. The people who get into, like, for example, people who are into fashion. Okay, now I can't say that I'm really into fashion. I like clothes. Okay, I'm trying to be, good about certain things. So, if I wanted to get into fashion, like put pieces together and stuff like that. I mean, like, really nice stuff together, I could, but I would spend a lot of money for that. Okay, so I just buy little cheap pieces of clothes here and there, and wear them, nice colorful stuff. Could I actually, if I wanted to, go out and do some really good shopping? Because I used to like a lot. I like funky clothes. I do. I like 70s type clothes. I like that sort of stuff. I like, loud, eccentric type clothing. I do like that sort of stuff. I do. I love it. I do. And I don't think that, but I don't really, I can't. I mean, like I said, I am 51. I totally realize that. So I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to, I actually need to talk to somebody and to tell me what do they advise at this point? Because, for the last 10 years, my life has been like running here, there, and everywhere. And people were basically making me lose jobs, starting over again, blah, 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 blah. My life was a total mess. So all in that 10-year period of time when I could have been putting money away in a consistent 401k account and like saving up from like my retirement, because fuck, I'm old, right? This is the kind of shit that I was thinking about the entire time, where I couldn't get back on my feet. And obviously, because my life was a joke to these people, they didn't think about my fucking retirement. But I'm fucking old. See, if I was immature and like with walking around and with nonsense in my head and not thinking about anything, like just willy-nilly, Maria's like really lightheaded and she just doesn't really pay attention, which is what they were trying to act like I was. Like I was just goofy and I needed somebody to straighten me out and put me on the right path. If I was one of those dysfunctional people, I wouldn't be thinking about that. That's one of the reasons why I was like screaming at the top of my lungs, making all these goddamn videos. Look, I need to fucking get back to work. I was basically saying that for that reason, okay? And it makes sense. Okay? Underneath it all, I'm a very logical person. I just fucking love certain parts of life, okay? I fucking hate people, okay? But I love lipstick. I love hats. I love eyeshadow. I love these new glasses that I got that I can actually like change the little fronts of them and stuff. That's kind of fun, right? I like things, and I'm trying to give myself the things that I enjoy, especially now since I'm fucking 51 years old. I'm old, okay? I am old, and I'm aware of it, and I'm seeking to please myself as much as I possibly can. And I think that we shouldn't be wasting our time pointing fingers, and we should all be doing that right now because things are falling apart. And, it is what it is. So why not enjoy your life, I am a realist, I am. I'm a realist, even though people might think just because I giggled a lot when I was younger or whatever that you can be more than just one person. And I have noticed that there's a lot of things that put people in categories and boxes, and that's how people do things. Especially like the education system. It's like they anybody who thinks on a different level than them, they automatically, because you only have one teacher, she's only able to teach one way. Maybe somebody has a better way of learning. And so they kind of write them off or whatever, you know what I mean? Because it's like a one size fits all. No, it is not a one size fits all. Everyone's different, and I'm one of them, but I don't like to draw attention to it. Although if people have like paid a lot more attention to me because of this targeting, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to enjoy my life, you know what I mean? And I have been like putting things together in my house. I haven't bought any new decorative items or anything like that. Well, maybe that's not true. No, I haven't. Everything that I basically put in here has been replacements of things like I had to replace a couple of those like containers where you store stuff or whatever. But I really haven't. Like I can't think of any furniture. I did get a couple stands, okay? I did get a couple of stands and little drawer thingies to put my stuff away. But I really haven't like bought a bunch of stuff really. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk about what's going on in my mind and, kind of ramble because I'm in that mood to talk, and it is unfortunate, because it would be really nice if I did have like someone who is a lot like me. And, and so you wait around. And so why wait around? Sometimes you just have to do things yourself, you know what I mean? But I do miss being around, good friends, people that I felt. Now they could have been all perps all my entire life, but it was nice to be able to go through like laughing and then like talking about something serious or saying something stupid or making up dumb jokes or something. Yeah, I mean that it's a good thing to have that, but it's a rare thing, and I'm very well aware of it. I mean, people are fake, people are phony, people don't know right from wrong. They are what makes up hell on this earth. People, and it's funny because like I've been really thinking about how I want to express my feelings on how I view other people. You know what I mean? And I'm working on that right now. It's gonna take me some time because I really would consider myself somebody. I don't think I'm a people person. I'm not. You know what I mean? I do have compassion and stuff, but I also understand that people have an evil nature about them. And I've seen this displayed my entire life, even from my own mother. So you can't expect me to think that people are good. You know what I mean? I've seen their evil side all my life, you know, so I'm very much aware of that. So for that reason, you know, I'm not saying that I just want to hate on people when I see them, but, you know, I'm very well aware that they could fall into some form of, you know, whatever, you know, and that people are literally walking around filled with spite, and they're willing to just mouth off and say a bunch of shit or think a bunch of shit and do like little slight underhanded stuff because they have these little microaggressions that they can't deal with. People are filled with piss and vinegar. Okay, I'm serious. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Okay, so which is one of the reasons why I was thinking about how I think it's funny, like how people get excited. I don't like eating out. I mean, I'll eat out, but I mean, I prefer not to. And the reason why is that I'm very much aware that people are hateful. You know what I mean? And they've been catching people like a lot in the like of the last year or so. People pissing in people's coffee, spitting in people's food. They don't know these people, these customers that are coming in randomly, but that's just how it is. People literally want to throw out a big fuck you to whoever and whatever. This is the attitude that people have. And they hide it behind these masks. Good morning, whatever. And then like they'll turn around and be like, fuck you. This is how people are. You know? And I fucking know it because I was a part of a hate crime for fucking almost 20 something goddamn years. And you'd be surprised how fucking so-called little nice church women become fucking goddamn evil, bloodthirsty bitches. You know? So yeah. I'm not a people person. You know what I mean? But I do believe I'm a polite person. And I'm a kind of a straight to the point person. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'm also a realist. You know? I'm a realist. And that's just how I am. So anyway, getting a little tuckered, tired and stuff. I think I'm going to go ahead and stretch out my legs a little bit more because, you know, hey, you work 8 hours and you sit a lot, you know, and I've been looking at different desks. Okay, I know I'm not going to try to get one of these desks, but it's a really cool idea that where you're actually standing at this station, you know, but you're kind of like leaned a little bit too. So you're, I don't know how to really describe it, but it was like, that is an amazing idea, you know, because it gives you a little bit of rest, but then it also allows you to stand up at the same time. I'm like, oh yeah, that's great, you know, because, you know I've been sitting for many years, you know, and sitting is great and everything, but you know, you get up and your legs start cracking and stuff, so you make sure that you get the proper circulation. You need to keep them moving, you know, as much as you possibly can. So anyway, I've been like, that's enough. I've been talking your ear off. I'm completely satisfied with letting all that shit out of my mouth, and now I feel like I can just like, you know, rest out for the rest of the night, and I hope you guys do too. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.